And they had a lot of love from my family, and they gave a lot of love.
I don't care what they did, they were good.
Food on our table when there wasn't food on our table.
If he'd have started to reach into one of his pockets, I'd killed him right there in the store.
He was strutting like a proud peacock.
I didn't know how they was going to feel, you know, about me after what I had done.
Hi, I'm Tim Simpson. You know that I like to tell the good stories. Well, today's report comes compliments of my boss, Bruce Moore. Several weeks ago, Bruce and I were talking about different stories that we've covered through the years. Then he told me about this family that he had met in North Carolina over 20 years ago. I couldn't believe the story he was telling me. This family in North Carolina, they are dirt poor. They view the two strangers who showed up to help them as angels sent by God. The local police department views them as fallen angels, wanted for bank robbery. Bruce Moore has the story.
A long, straight road runs through Smithfield, North Carolina. As far as you can see, not a curve in it. But for one couple who traveled it 40 years ago, the road through Smithfield took one incredible turn.
They had a lot of love from my family, and they gave a lot of love.
And they were good people. I don't care what they did, they were good.
Mom used to say, God always sends his angels to people that really need them.
It was 1955, and the Hamilton family needed some angels. With 14 kids, what money there was didn't go far. Older sister Nell was 22 and doing the best she could to help out.
It was rough. I mean, rough. They was, well, a lot of times the kids never got to go to school because they didn't have the clothes or they were barefooted. Some of them probably went hungry. Nothing for Christmas or anything like that.
Today, some offices sit where their old house used to be, right beside Highway 301.
It was just a two-lane highway.
Troy Hamilton was 11 then, and one November day it was his turn to feed the family's hogs, which were kept in a pen across the highway.
Last thing I remember, I woke up in an ambulance with my sister holding me.
He'd been hit by a car. Somehow, Troy wasn't hurt too badly, but that collision would have a lasting impact on his family. You see, Bill and Judy Carlson were traveling behind the car that hit Troy.
The Lord had something to do with it, I'm pretty sure.
Nell says the Carlsons stopped and just took over. She and her sister still talk about it like it was a dream. The 23-year-old man and his 16-year-old wife paid Troy's doctor bills, and with Christmas approaching, they started tending to the rest of the family.
Well, they took my baby sister and I out, bought us clothes, outfits of clothes, shoes, brand new shoes, the first pair of new shoes we ever had.
Well, we didn't have very much back then. They put food on our table when there wasn't food on our table.
As winter passed by in town, the bond grew between the Hamiltons and their generous friends. Bill and Judy got a house close by, and then came word that Judy was going to have a baby.
And she was just as sweet as she could be. She was. I can see her right now. Sure can.
But the fairy tale ended just as fast as it began. Smithfield's rookie police officer uncovered the fact that the Good Samaritans had a not-so-good past. D.C. Johnson remembers the showdown.
If he'd have started to reach into one of his pockets, I'd killed him right there in the store.
Bill and Judy Carlson were really Roosevelt and Tyra O'Donnell, bank robbers from Indiana. But to this day, one family says the couple gave much more than they ever took.
I was standing across the street there watching him.
It was 1956, and D.C. Johnson was Smithfield's rookie police officer. He'd been thumbing through FBI wanted posters when he recognized two faces. Roosevelt Lyndon O'Donnell, age 23, and O'Donnell's 16-year-old wife, Tyra. Both were wanted for robbing a bank in Indiana and taking a hostage in the process. Johnson spotted O'Donnell walking along the sidewalk heading into the grocery.
Yeah, he was on the run, and when I told him, I said, well, O'Donnell, it's all over with a 38.
So you put the 38s in the back?
Right to the back of his head. And the only thing he done was suck his hands up, just like getting said, Mr. Johnson, I'm glad it's over with. Let's go. Says, I'll give you no problems.
In Smithfield, things like that didn't happen very much.
In the country press, as we called it, the non-daily field, we don't get much news.
And to reporter Peter Hulch of the Smithfield Herald, this was news. Front page treatment, 5 cents a copy.
The police chief, he was He was strutting like a proud peacock.
But the story involves much more than capturing two bank robbers. The couple had gotten away with more than $2,000, but as it turns out, they never spent the money on themselves. Instead, the 14 children of the Hamilton family found out what it was like not to be hungry anymore.
I mean, we didn't never get to tell them how much we really loved them, how much we appreciated everything they ever done for us, and that no matter what they did, that we love them and we forgive them.
Linda Ivy was Linda Hamilton then, 8 years old, when her older brother Troy was hit by a car just outside Smithfield. The O'Donnells witnessed the accident, stopped to help, and for some reason, they stayed. The reporter believes the couple changed in their hearts when they saw so many kids living on so little.
The good side came out.
They bought food, clothes, toys. It wasn't long before O'Donnell had to get a job as a bricklayer.
I guess they spent every dime they robbed on my family. They just seen that we were taken care of when we didn't have it.
You think about people like that all the time. You can't get them out of your mind, you know, really.
From the jail in Smithfield, the O'Donnells were shipped back to Indiana, where they were tried and convicted. The Hamiltons never got to see them again, and frankly, at the time, they didn't know how or where to look. But now they're looking, because something was left unsaid.
Well, at first, I think I'd have hugged their neck. And I would like to thank them for all the things they did for my family. I would like to thank them. I know that's not very much, but sometimes that's all you can say.
I'd tell them to come home. Exactly what I'd tell them.
Right here?
Right here. Mm-hmm.
So there's a place for them still.
Right.
Roosevelt and Tyra O'Donnell were convicted and served their time. They're out of prison now, so Troy, Nell, and Linda hope to hook up with them soon.
Yeah, that's them. That's them here.
At first glance, this might look like an ordinary reunion, kind of thing you'd find in any airport. But for this big bricklayer from South Bend, Indiana, it goes much deeper than that.
I had a lot of mixed feelings about, coming down to, to see the kid. I didn't know how they was going to feel, about me after what I had done.
It's been 40 years since Roosevelt O'Donnell followed the roads into Smithfield, North Carolina. Back then, he and his first wife, Tyra, were on the run. After robbing a bank in Indiana, they were headed for Florida, but they never made it. Just outside Smithfield, they saw a young boy get hit by a car, so they stopped to help. 8-year-old Troy Hamilton was banged up pretty good, but the couple also saw that his family needed help. Troy's 13 brothers and sisters knew what it was like to go hungry. So Roosevelt took over.
He done a lot, but it come from the heart. Now, I tell you, there ain't nobody else like him, because nobody else wouldn't have done it.
The man was just like an angel that was sent here for some reason and for a purpose.
Posing as Bill and Judy Carlson, the 23-year-old man and his 16-year-old wife spent every dime they had robbed on the Hamiltons. Food, clothes, shoes, toys. It went on for months until Smithfield's rookie police officer spotted the couple on an FBI wanted poster. The benevolent bank robbers were arrested and hauled off to prison, and the Hamiltons never saw either of them again until now.
Well, I'll tell you what, they sure don't look like kids anymore.
Payback time for Roosevelt O'Donnell.
All right, are you?
How you doing?
Fine,
Looking great.
fine.
They're looking good.
Yeah, see who all we got here.
Johnny.
Which one is this, Johnny? No, Johnny.
There are so many Hamiltons and so many cars they had to park in the yard. Not one of them would miss this homecoming for the man they still remember as Bill.
All we need is a bunch of little young'uns.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sticking around there. Did you ever think you'd ever see this clan again?
No, I sure didn't.
He spent nearly 17 years in prison, and even though he missed the Hamiltons badly, fear of rejection kept him from reaching out to them. The Hamiltons simply didn't know where to find him, or they would have.
He was never forgotten, never.
So now the search is over, and this big family just got a little bigger.
Well, we just thank you for keeping them safe and letting us meet again, Father.
Remembering the hard times and the kindness of a stranger, oldest brother Johnny almost didn't make it through the blessing.
Father, we do appreciate him and we love him. And Father, just thank you for taking care of him and his wife.
There was just one person missing. Roosevelt and Tyra split up while he was finishing his term in prison. And just a few days ago, we found her. She also lives in South Bend. Tyra couldn't make this gathering, but she's excited about renewing her friendship with the family.
She'll come. and she'll be treated just like Bill.
When he leaves the Hamiltons, O'Donnell will still have a hand to hold. Shortly after his release from prison, he married his sweetheart from his teenage years. A snapshot for the future. All it took was some people who refused to forget the past, and a man and a woman traveling the road to Smithfield. Well, many of the Hamiltons now live in Hampton Roads, and the O'Donnells are spending this whole week in our area getting to know the family again.